If your goal is to get filthy rich in 2026, then you need to stop worrying about hype, quick wins, and crypto gambles. The only way to get rich in 2026 is through building real value. Now, that's exactly what I've done, and I've been able to amass over $2 million online since I started. So, in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what I did and why I think this is still the best method to get rich in 2026. Look, the main reason why a lot of people get building wealth and getting rich very, very wrong is because they try and do a bunch of different things. For example, a few months ago online, copywriting was the big thing. And you had all these young people wanting to get into copywriting, wanting to get into writing emails and writing copy for people who had courses and people who had their own online programs. I haven't heard anyone mention copywriting in the last few months. Now it looks like the big thing is digital marketing. Everyone wants to sell these courses and they tell you how you can become a digital marketer and make £20,000 every single month. And look, I'm sure there's some people out there doing digital marketing that are making that amount of money. But the fact is, you are not going to make any money if you constantly hop between different fads: copywriting, digital marketing, email marketing, YouTube automation. Like, all these things are cool. And I'm 100% sure there's people out there who are making money from these things. But the fact is, you need to master one skill and do it very, very well. That is how you're going to make a lot of money. Stop jumping ship. Stop trying to do the latest fad. Stop trying to become a PT, then do copywriting, then do email marketing. Just focus on one thing and become a trusted person in your space for that one thing. And once you start building value, then you can move on to think about how you can monetize the thing that you're doing. So focus on one thing. Don't try and do 5 things at once. Do one thing very well. Then the next thing to do is to think about adding real value in the space that you're in. So for example, if you are a fitness trainer or a nutritionist, think about adding real value. Don't just come into the space and recycle what other people are saying. Don't just become someone who is just copying someone else. Add your own flavor on it. When it comes to the online world, when it comes to content creation and adding value in different spaces, people buy into people. So people will want to buy into whatever you're selling, or people will want to follow you for your unique take and your own insight into whatever it is you're talking about. If you just come on and repeat what people have heard before, no one's going to follow you, and you're not going to give people enough of a reason to actually hit that follow button and actually eventually buy something from you. So think about what you're doing. Think about how much value you can add, and think about what you're good at. A lot of people will step into spaces they have no experience in and try and portray this image, but those people quickly get found out. You need to be someone that offers unique value in the field that you're operating in. If you can do that, give your own take on things and add real value to the point where people are like, I can't believe the stuff that he's giving out is free. That is where you know you're doing a good thing. And those people who are loving the free stuff will eventually become paid customers because they think, if his free stuff is this good, what is his paid stuff going to be like? And that's where you can convert followers into paid customers and actually start building capital. So shift your focus from just thinking about how can I make money to now thinking about how can I actually get people to follow me and add real value in the space. Remember, people spend money on areas of their life where value is added. So if you can add value for free, people will pay you eventually. Don't just get into this game thinking, I need to make money from day one. It doesn't happen like that. You're not going to make money from day one. You have to be thinking about what you're doing and what value you're adding so that people eventually will start to pay you. Lead with value and the money will come, I promise you. When I talk about giving people a reason to follow you, you have to be giving your unique take on things. Don't reiterate what other people have said. People follow people. So think about what you've done in the space that is very, very different. For example, one of the things that I've mentioned time and time again is how I first invested in NVIDIA back in 2021, and I put £6,700 into NVIDIA, and that amount is now worth over £100,000. That is something fairly unique to me. I haven't seen anyone else on social media. I'm sure there's people out there in real life that have had better returns than me, but there's no one that I've seen on social media that has shown their results. And I'm fully transparent. I'm an open book. I've shown screenshots of the gains I've made. I've made also over £100,000 in Apple stock. And I've shown all this, right? So it's about being transparent. It's about showcasing your own journey. What's unique to you and why should people follow you? People want to follow people who have proven what they've done, people that offer unique takes on things. Now, I'm not saying that you have to have the social proof that I have, but I am saying that you have to have a unique take on something. Maybe it's controversial and you don't believe in it. For example, kids going to public school versus private school. Maybe you've got a unique take on that. Maybe you know a friend that went to private school and didn't end up being someone in life. Or maybe you know someone who went to public school and ended up being a CEO of a major company. Those are unique stories and people want a reason to follow people. So if you can offer a unique take on something, or you've got a testimonial that's personal to you, that is a way you can add value and increase people's curiosity to get them to follow you and eventually turn into a paid customer. I cannot emphasize this enough, but leading with value is so, so important when it comes to making money and getting rich in 2026. People won't trust you if you go ahead straight away and sell them something. You have to lead with value. And if you can offer immense value, the money will come. I promise you. So think about what you can add value in, what ways you can add value in, what problems can you solve. For people who are in your industry, whether you're like a PT or you're a businessman or you do e-commerce or you're an investor like me in the stock market, think about things that you've overcome that other people will have to overcome. For example, newbies in the stock market, they might be investing in a general investment account rather than a stocks and shares ISA. That's a big thing, right? Because investing in a stocks and shares ISA will give you £20,000 a year completely tax-free. So you can put £20,000 in the stock market completely tax-free inside a stocks and shares ISA. Whereas if you invest in a general investment account, you will be liable for capital gains tax at 24%. So that makes a big difference. And people don't know this when they started out in their investing journey. Whereas someone like me who's been investing for over 15 years, this is basic knowledge, but it's not basic to everyone. So think about ways in which you can solve problems in your space and you can speak to people who are just starting out to steer them down the correct path so that they don't make the same mistakes that maybe you made when you started out. When people trust you and they trust that you've helped them on their journey or you've made them money or you've made their life easier, it doesn't feel like you're selling to them when you eventually start to sell a product or service to them. And if you're already on social media, if you're already creating content, if you're already adding value and you're struggling to sell, it probably means that you're not adding enough value or you've started to sell too early. Along your journey of adding value, you need to start building your tribe. These are your guys. These are your people. These are your girls. These are people who will like every piece of content that you put out. These are people that are going to fight your battles, that are going to argue for you when the trolls come for you in the comments. And these are people that basically see you as someone worth following and someone worth defending. Now, these are what I call super fans. These are people that are going to join all the lives. These are people that are going to move their lives around to accommodate you. Now, a prime example of this is TikTok. So I go live on TikTok 3-4 times a week. And every time I go live, there's people that sit there in my DMs and they ask me, what time are you going live? If I say I'm going live at 7 p.m. and I'm not live at 7 p.m., they ask me, hey, what's happened? Are you okay? Like, why aren't you live? I'm having dinner. Just let me know when you're going to go live because I don't want to miss it. Like, these are people that move their lives around so they can watch me live. And these are what I call super fans. These are my tribe. These people will buy anything from me. These people will like every single thing I put out, even if it doesn't really resonate with them. But these are my super fans. And this is what you need to build. Once you build this, it doesn't start to feel like selling. It just starts to feel like the natural next step in the process. Now, eventually you'll want to sell a product or a service to your audience. Now, if you are doing this, you need to do it in a way where, like I said, it doesn't feel like selling. And you need to do it in a way where people are happy to pay for whatever it is you're offering and actually feel like you're offering insane value. For example, something that can generate someone £5,000, but you're only selling it for £100 would be deemed as insane value if you can show that someone has gone through the same process and achieved that amount, or that you've done it for yourself. And that is what people buy into. Once you've added enough value, you can start selling to your audience, but do it in a natural way. Don't do it in a way that feels unnatural and feels forced, because you will lose your audience. Now, once you have done all that and you've started to make money, you need to think about where you're going to invest the surplus. And this is the real accelerator in the wealth building process. And I'm talking about the stock market. So using the money that you've made, the excess, the surplus, the profits, and throwing that into the stock market, investing in good quality assets that appreciate over time. Just this last year gone, 2025, we saw the S&P 500 increase by between 16 and 18%. We had stocks like Rocket Lab increase 200%, AST Space Mobile up 250%, and even Nvidia was up 40% year to date. Palantir was another one, 126% year to date. So once you started making this money, the way to accelerate your wealth building process, and this is really where I started making a bunch of money, is through investing in good quality assets and waiting over time. Once you've covered your essentials, everything excess should be invested in the stock market, in my opinion, not financial advice, of course. And that is how I've been able to accelerate my wealth building process and get closer and closer to that retirement. Now, this process sounds very, very simple, but of course it isn't. Consistency is the real kicker here. And this is where most people don't get it. Most people don't see it through. Most people aren't consistent and most people quit. So if in 2026, you're someone who wants to make a ton of money, this is the exact process that I've been doing for a number of years. And this is the exact process I'm going to continue to do in 2026. Don't be like most people. Be consistent. Treat every day as if you are never going to make a penny. If you can show up and be consistent when you're making no money, that is a good sign that when you actually start making money, you'll continue to be consistent and bring it home. So that's the entire playbook that's worked for me when it comes to getting disgustingly rich. So that's the playbook that's worked for me and has helped me on my wealth building journey. If you found this useful, please hit the like and subscribe button. It means a lot because I'm really trying to grow this account this year and I'm going to be producing videos every single week for you guys. I'll see you in the next video.